So give me a little, the Reader's Digest sort of on your career and background.
Sure. Okay. So I am a doctor. I'm a orthopedic surgeon, and my specialty in orthopedic surgery is pediatric orthopedics. So I work with kids, and as my career has evolved, I've really become a specialist in pediatric spine disorders. So the first 25 years of my practice, I was working all the time. I would say it's a very rewarding job, but a very high stress, demanding job.
Yeah, I would guess. I mean, you can't make a mistake.
Right, exactly.
But what really drew you to pottery, and why did, at what point did you decide, hey, working 60, 80 hours a week as a doctor, it's rewarding, etc., but now maybe I want to downshift, I want to do something different. What was the impetus to make a change?
When we first moved to Austin, before we had kids, and we were looking for things to do, my wife and I took pottery classes, and we loved it, and then life got way too busy and completely had to put that on hold. Then I said, I think I'll take a pottery class. And when I sat down at the wheel, a lot of the skills just came back. What I really like about pottery is that it's a physical activity as well as an artistic activity. So when you're doing it, you're using your hands, you're using your whole body, your core strength, everything. I'm someone who really believes that when you get involved in a physical activity like that, you start concentrating on it so much that you can completely forget about everything else. And so I very quickly became almost addicted to sitting down at the pottery wheel, because that was just an incredible stress relief. I really like the sort of the idea of a stepwise process that you really had to plan out. And again,
I mean, not surprising that you're a good potter. I mean, it sounds like you did it when you were younger, but also, you use your hands in your job, which is not typical of most professionals, right? But then sort of the whole process orientation is interesting.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure. The first thing you have to do is you have to center your clay, which is, when you're a beginner, it's probably the hardest part. But the clay has to be perfectly centered on the wheel, otherwise it just kind of wobbles all over the place. And then once you have it centered, then you can open it up. Just kind of make a hole in the middle, and then you just kind of pull it out. And you always have to keep it centered. And once you have it opened up, then you can actually start pulling up the sides. Let me just open it up a little bit more. Just compress a little bit. The other thing that's great about ceramics is you start off with an idea of what you want to make, and a lot of times your finished product is not anywhere close to what you thought you were going to make, but sometimes your best pieces are some of your mistakes or things that just kind of took off and developed a shape of their own.
Sounds like you're not done with this by any means. You really like this. Do you see still doing this 5-10 years from now?
Absolutely. I mean, some days we think that we would actually like to, just kind of give up everything and open up our own pottery studio and gallery, and just maybe have several potters and have a really cool space and have a little storefront, and I think that would be a blast. We have a group from Dell Children's that does work in Guatemala, so we're called Operation Kid Doc. What I've tried to do is sell some of my pieces to raise money for these trips. What I can do is get other artists involved, and we can put on art shows and galas and things like that. We come down and in a week we'll do 75 surgeries, which it's incredible how to do that here would be just astronomical cost, but you can do that in a country like Guatemala on a very limited budget. It's great for the local doctors, it's great for the kids down there, it's incredibly rewarding for us to go down as well. So
nice.
It all ties together somehow.